What is going on, everybody? It's the Frost and Wing here for a SmackDown and Rampage review for October the 26th, 2021. It is Black Friday, the tail end of Black Friday as it is here. We had SmackDown, which main event was a Battle Royal. The winner would get a shot at Roman Reigns, with Kayla Braxton doing the entire theme of the show. Was centered around, of course, Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, as Kayla started the show. Kayla, which we'll talk about all this in a minute. We're going to get to Rampage first. She talked about rumors. Roman and them came out, and then they spent the whole show. Could she get actual fact of Brock Lesnar's so-called suspension being lifted? We'll get into that when we get to SmackDown, but we're going to talk about Rampage. This was a pretty decent show. I mean, the women's match was average at best. Riho did her best to carry the champion to a match that actually you would give a shit about, which we know that's very, very hard to do. Eddie Kingston in the main event against Daniel Garcia in what was, I think, Daniel Garcia's best match so far. Even though we know he had a banger against CM Punk a couple weeks ago. And in the opening match, you had Bobby Fish and Adam Cole taking on Orange Cassidy and Wheeler Yuta of the stable The Best Friends. And we got more matches announced for this coming Wednesday. And matches, we got majority of the card for next Wednesday and majority of the card for next Friday tonight. Is Rampage going to be live next week? I'm pretty sure it's not. But for some reason, they have 2 title matches on Rampage next week. Just holy hell. What is so special about next week's Rampage? I know it's the first Rampage of December, but still, they're loading up next week's Rampage. But let's get to the match. Wheeler Yuta and Orange Cassidy versus Adam Cole and Bobby Fish. This is Adam Cole and Bobby Fish's second attempt at teaming in AEW since they both made it over here. So it makes me wonder why Rampage is getting such a big card next week. It is going to be taped on Wednesday. It's like definitely going to be taped on Wednesday. Get a tag team title match and another match there, but here we go. Wheeler Yuta, Bobby and Orange Cassidy take on Adam Cole, Bobby Fish. This match was pretty damn good. As we know, Bobby Fish and Adam Cole used to be the members of the Undisputed Era. If I'm correct, these guys want that. They talked about how these guys are a formidable team. Outside of War Games, the 3 or 4 years they did it together. These two, if I'm correct, didn't team that much in NXT. So this is like them getting, because I know when Adam Cole was officially a tag team champion before when Roderick Strong added to the team, Bobby Fish was injured because it was Roderick Strong and Adam Cole. Then you had Bobby Fish was injured a lot. That's another thing about the Undisputed Era. Bobby Fish was injured a lot. Anyway, Orange Cassidy gets tagged in. He's doing he's doing his comedy bit where he's trying to put his hands in his pocket. Adam Cole puts his hand out and then does the Adam Cole baby. Then he tries again. Adam Cole stops that. So same old shtick what you get with Orange Cassidy. Now, this match was never in doubt to me. Adam Cole needed a win. Bobby Fish needed a win. And Wheeler Yuta, my God, man, took a avalanche falcon arrow from the top rope as Orange Cassidy took off the elbow pad. He was trying to set up for the orange punch. Adam Cole grabs him and pulls him out of the ring, throws him into the stairs, and then allows Bobby Fish to be able to get Wheeler Yuta up on the top rope, hit the avalanche falcon arrow for the pin and the win. And the boys, the former Undisputed Era boys, pick up the win as they should have. Tony Nese is backstage with Mr. Tony Schiavone. Tony Schiavone mentions that he's mysteriously been showing up at recent shows on TV. He's like, whoa, Tony, that's not true. There's a reason I'm there, and it's obvious. I'm there scouting talents. That's what the top premier athletes do. And he mentions about there being an open challenge for the TNT title. And says that he wants to make his debut by becoming the new TNT champion if guys like if guys like Jay Lethal, Bobby Fish, and others would have just done their homework, they would be champion right now and not Sammy Guevara, who's been just a rather disappointment. Sammy comes in, he challenges Sammy, they shake hands. Sammy goes to leave, Tony Nese holds on, pulls him back in, gives him a big, huge shot to the face, knocking him down. And then he walks over to Sammy, puts his knee into his side, and says, I'll see you next week. And I thought that was going to be, well, we're getting the match on Friday. I mean, on Wednesday. No. This match is happening on Friday next week. Yeah, on December the 2nd. This match happens. AAA Tag Team Champions FTR believe there's no team on Earth with a match their style. They involve the Lucha Brothers because they've had success in 2 out of 3 fall matches. So they do mention the fact that they got cheated because the wrong guy got pinned because the one guy they had their masks on and they thought they were going to try and get away with some tomfoolery that way. And ask, if you want to prove that it wasn't a fluke and that you can actually beat us, then 2 out of 3 falls next week. And that match also is happening on Friday. Riho versus the AEW Women's World Champion, the delusional moronic dumbass known as the Baker, Britt Baker. So this match is happening because at All Out, Riho, I didn't notice this. I thought she actually got eliminated, but Riho did not actually fully get eliminated from the match, which apparently backstage she was not happy about. She was emotional and upset the fact that how whatever she was supposed to do in the match got fucked up, and she and all that. So Tony Khan went, well, we can't go back and fix the match because you probably weren't winning anyway, but let's make a story out of this. They did this with Eddie Kingston last year when he wasn't eliminated from the Battle Royal, but they caught it on immediately, and it was set up that way for him to have a match with Lance Archer eventually anyway. So she was given a match here. If she wins the match, she is the next person in line for the AEW Women's Championship. Now, I don't like the Women's Champion, who she is. She's a paper champion. She sucks in the fucking ring, sucks on the mic, has terrible stage presence. Honestly, just feels like she shouldn't even fucking be in professional wrestling. However, I am not an advocate for a champion losing a non-title match. I hate these type of matches. Come on, can we please have Riho go up against Jamie Hayter and Rebel in a 2-on-1 handicap match. If she beats them, she gets a title match. That'll be fine. Or hell, the champ come out and be like, I shouldn't have to face you 1-on-1. So have Jamie Hayter lose, and that because of the champion again, and that leads to the title match. You didn't have to book it this way. Like, I just don't understand why AEW is trying to put, I know they booked themselves into a corner because, honestly, if this title match, because Riho does win, Riho did her best, but the match was meh. If this match is happening at Battle of the Belts, or Winter is Coming, if it's happening at Winter is Coming, you kind of had no other choice but Riho. Because the TBS title tournament is going on right now. Ruby Soho, Chris Statlander, Nyla Rose, Thunder Rosa are all in that tournament still, and Jade's there too, but she should be nowhere near a title match right now. That's all your top contenders for this championship outside of Serena Deeb, but Serena Deeb is a heel, and you're not going to have Serena Deeb get a women's championship match because you ain't got nobody else, because everyone else is right now trying to become the first ever TBS champion. So AEW kind of screwed themselves here. They had no choice. They're lucky that whatever happened with Riho happened, because had that not happened and she just got eliminated like a normal person should in a battle royal, you would have been screwed for what you're going to do. Now, when Riho won, she got it with a roll up. Okay, there you go. The question is, does this happen at Winter is Coming, or does this happen at Battle of the Belts? Honestly, Thunder Rosa will probably be the one to take on Ruby Soho in the finals of the TBS Women's Tournament. That match is either happening on January 5th or January 8th at Battle of the Belts, or the first night on TBS. I think it should be the first night on TBS, but there is Battle of the Belts 3 days later. However, even if Thunder Rosa was in the finals and that match happened at January 8th, you're not going to have Thunder Rosa lose that to Ruby Soho if that was to happen, and then go, well, Thunder Rosa, we're going to give you a title match at Battle of the Belts 3 days later. It's just not going to work like that. So, this was the only option they really had. So, that was that, and before we got to the main event, we got a lineup for next week's shows. Atlanta Street Fight, because they will be in Atlanta. Cody Rhodes versus Andrade El Idolo. Who do you think is going to win that match? TBS Women's Title Tournament quarterfinals, final quarterfinals match. Chris Statlander versus Ruby Soho. I got Ruby Soho on that. Bryan Danielson looks to kick in the teeth in the head of Allen 5 Angels. The Gun Club of Colton and Bailey versus Sting and Darby Allin. That is your show for Wednesday night. And then Friday, the TNT Championship on the line as Tony Nese takes on Sammy Guevara. And the AEW Tag Team titles on the line as the Lucha Bros take on FTR. So, next week is a very stacked show from Atlanta. If you're going to Atlanta, you got yourself 3 hours and 2 shows being taped. Well, 4 hours if you count Dark Elevation beforehand. But you got many hours of good professional wrestling coming to you on Wednesday night. Eddie Kingston versus Daniel Garcia. Now, if Daniel Garcia was just a schmuck, and they weren't going to really be doing much with him, this match would have lasted maybe 2 minutes, as Eddie Kingston would have came out here, brutally beat the shit out of this guy, and left him for dead, and walked back without his, Daniel Garcia would have came out first, Eddie Kingston would have came out, and before his music got done playing, he would have beat the shit out of this guy, pinned him, and walked back out to his music without him having to start back up. That, of course, did not happen here. Now, a story going into this match is that Eddie Kingston's knee he has a bum knee, and he has a messed up shoulder. Daniel Garcia really did not exploit the messed up shoulder, I will say that. But, but it was one of those things that Daniel Garcia did start going after the knee towards the end of the match, and this match was brutal. Daniel Garcia got beat up early. He absolutely got beat up early. Then Kingston continues on the ground on the outside. He technically takes out 2.0. Kingston dives off the rope with a knee drop, but that is when the damage was done in Kingston's knee. Like, Daniel Garcia saw the knee and was like, he's like fish out of water. You know that the movie Finding Nemo, when the blood comes out of her nose and the blood goes up into the shark's nose, and he's like, oh, that's good. And he starts going after the fish. That's what Daniel Garcia saw in this. This was the blood in the water, fish, like sharks coming for his knee. So Kingston fights him off with a big bite in the corner, but I got a picture. Back during the break, Garcia stayed on top of Kingston with a wide range of offense. He looked for a cover, to which Kingston kicked out at 2. Back in the full screen, Garcia's laying in some stiff kicks. Kingston fires up an exploded suplex to create some recovery time. Garcia charges Kingston with multiple elbow shots before locking him in a knee bar. He drags himself to the bottom rope. Kingston does. He loads a massive powerbomb. Garcia evades a half-and-half suplex and applies a heel hook on Kingston's damaged leg. Kingston finds the bottom rope again, barely able to escape. A few minutes later, Kingston officially locks in a half-and-half back throw. Garcia lands right on his head. Both men trade some ferocious rights. Garcia steps right into the lion's den after hitting a roundhouse kick. Kingston ruthlessly connects a Sayuda suplex. Goes for the spinning back fist. Garcia ducks the first one, but Kingston hits him with another one. Gets the last laugh, and that is that. Eddie Kingston wins, but the post-match, 2.0 decide, that ain't cool, man. We're gonna beat this fucker down for taking out our son, for hurting our son. So they attack Eddie Kingston, and it goes on for about a minute or two. And Jericho, who's on commentary, finally gets up, slowly walks to the ramp, and then rushes the ring to get 10.0 and Daniel Garcia out of the ring and stands tall with Eddie Kingston. It was not made official yet, but I fully expect, because I'm sure we'll have at least one more match, or they'll save it for when it is coming. It wouldn't surprise me there. But Jericho and Kingston versus 2.0 is coming. Now, if they really want to, if they can find a third person, we could have a 6-man tag match and just have Daniel Garcia and 2.0 versus Eddie Kingston, Chris Jericho, and superstar to be named, or wrestler to be named. Who is that going to be? I don't know. Again, pretty good night, pretty good end of the night after what SmackDown was, but SmackDown just irks me. So, we open the show on SmackDown, and for whatever reason, Kayla Braxton's in the middle of the ring. I don't know why at the time. Why is Kayla Braxton here? She's not out here to interview anybody. She welcomes us to SmackDown, and she goes about and immediately brings up the Brock Lesnar's rumors that she started about Brock Lesnar being suspension no longer being indefinite. Before she can say anything else, out comes Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman. Heyman, after they get in the ring, which, by the way, I don't know where these rumors started or why they just decided, well, we gotta do something to make this a little bit more juicy. Let's have Kayla Braxton go out there and be like, yeah, there's rumors going around that that Brock Lesnar's suspension is lifted. Really? Really? And Heyman gets the mic and he just torches this woman. Like, the fact that they don't deal in rumors, they deal in cold, hard facts. If you can't get the cold, hard facts for a confirmation or a denial, then you're not doing your job. And he, honestly, I commend Kayla Braxton for not, like, breaking down, crying in front of the world, because he was just going in on her about everything. She's a journalist with news on Lesnar's suspension, knowing that it means the Reigns and Heyman, when really she wanted to come get a spotlight for herself with rumors. He tells them not to boo Kayla, tells her that they had defended her as his co-worker. A co-worker he's ashamed of because these rumors. He tells Kayla to go get sources and next time come with facts when in the presence of Reigns. Heyman says that he once liked Kayla because others thought she was pretty, but here she is with rumors and living her life through a life Instagram filter, which is no way for a legit journalist to live. Tell that to the New York Times, ABC, NBC, MSNBC, CNN, Fox, and any other mainstream media, because that's all they live through. And until she's a legit journalist, this is her cue to leave the ring. Thanks for her time and good night. Reigns asks him if he wants to know the problem with rumors. They give losers false hope. And compared to Reigns, everyone else around here is a loser because he's beaten them all. No lies detected, Mr. Roman Reigns. Reigns says Lesnar is the number one loser around here. The boos continue. He says he beat Lesnar at and the conditions weren't that ideal. I even flew halfway around the world, and smashed his ass. Repeats it. Lesnar is a loser, and he doesn't care about the rumors. That's a fact. Reigns says Big E is also a loser because he got smashed at Survivor Series, and said these fools are just a part of long list he's beaten. Says it's getting embarrassing because he's running laps around the roster and management is getting worried. And why are they getting worried? Well, what is the main event tonight? It is a invitational battle royal to determine his next challenger. Reigns says if it doesn't matter what kind of match they can have 3 of them win tonight, 4 of them win tonight. It won't matter because he will smash them all. He can do that all because he's the best of the best, Universal Champion, the head of the table, our Tribal Chief, and the greatest of all time. And when his days are done around here, which could be sooner than later, then the whole world will acknowledge him, and that is that. Vince McMahon should be very worried because if Roman Reigns' days come where he can't wrestle anymore, you ain't got nobody to take his place. If Roman Reigns walks into the office tomorrow and be like, look, man, I have this leukemia problem again. I have to go away for a few months just to, whatever. Vince is fucked. Vince needs to start building new stars. So, look at the contrast from both companies. Jon Moxley's in therapy right now, trying to get his he's in rehab trying to get his alcoholism problem under control. Kenny Omega is getting surgery on multiple different parts of his body that need it. That's 2 of your big names, 2 of your top stars, 2 of the day oneers in this company. And they're gone right now. And you have Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson, Young Bucks, CM Punk, Chris Jericho, Miro when he's coming back from his little sabbatical, which he was only back for temporary. You have all these other talents that could take spots of Jon Moxley, Kenny Omega. Eddie Kingston's on there too. Roman Reigns, if he goes down, they've got nobody. Drew is fine as WWE champ or second place, but as the top guy in the company, no. So, Reigns, yeah, he's true. People are going to acknowledge him. We acknowledge him now. But, yeah. And it's crazy because if you would have told us, the content creators and everybody who watches professional wrestling, 2 years ago, because this time last year Roman was just starting on his 400-plus day run as Universal Champion. If you would have told us this, okay, a year and a half ago, when he was gone, that Roman Reigns was going to be the biggest thing in WWE, one of the top acts in all of professional wrestling / sports entertainment, I guarantee you, everybody would have looked at you and laughed your ass off. Laughed their asses off. Because at the time, Roman Reigns was not what he is today. And could you imagine what this Roman Reigns would have been like if he would have joined the Authority, if he would have turned on the Shield, if he would have broke the Shield up and been the guy wearing the suits and being the evil badass heel? Would we have a different Roman Reigns? Absolutely. But that's not what happened. And honestly, even though we had to suffer through it for many, many years, I don't think I would want to change the way we have Roman Reigns today, going back that far. So, the first match tonight was Drew McIntyre and Jeff Hardy versus Happy, Baron Corbin, and Madcap Moss. This match is happening because last week Madcap and Jeff Hardy won a match. Drew McIntyre was out there to support Jeff Hardy, while Corbin, of course, had Madcap. And guess what? We're in Jeff Hardy's hometown. Jeff Hardy, a man from North Carolina. We're here. Like, crowd was going crazy for this match for them. Jeff Hardy and Drew McIntyre win. Jeff Hardy gets the pinfall win. Drew swantoning on Madcap, right? Yeah, Madcap. Madcap eats that. Fans go wild. Drew points at Jeff, tags him in. Crowd is going ballistic. Big swanton, 1, 2, 3. And a babyface or somebody, a babyface wins a match in their hometown. Holy shit, when the hell has that happened last? Seriously, when was the last time somebody from their hometown in WWE actually won a match? Beats the fuck out of me because it doesn't happen, if at all. So they celebrate, and that is that. Kayla Braxton is talking backstage with Aaliyah when Paul Heyman walks up. Aaliyah says it was good chatting to Kayla, and walks off. But sure, she and Heyman have a lot to talk about. Heyman asks if Kayla has confirmation or denial on those Lesnar rumors. But he dismisses the idea of any Lesnar rumor and says Lesnar got himself suspended for touching Anna Pierce and is hiding behind the suspension because he is afraid of Roman Reigns. Heyman mentions how he doesn't have Lesnar's new phone number, but neither does Kayla. Heyman says he's pushing for Kayla to be gone unless she has confirmation on the Lesnar rumors before the end of the night. Or maybe it's just a rumor. And he walks off. So, Kayla Braxton coming out with these outlandish rumors that nobody knows are actually real. And Paul Heyman's telling her, get your shit together or you're gone. Man, pressure's on for her tonight. Cesaro takes on Ridge Holland. This is Ridge Holland's debut match after being drafted in October and then coming on to Friday nights and being a Sheamus fanboy for the last month. He's finally going to have a match. Now, early on in the match, Cesaro is dominating. Ridge Holland just can't get out of the starting gate. Sheamus, of course, is on commentary with he's just got a smile on his face. He's so happy because this badass wants him to be his mentor. And Cesaro wins. Doesn't beat him with anything but the most devastating finisher in all of professional wrestling and sports entertainment. The roll-up. Yes. Not like Sheamus distracted Cesaro. And then Rich Holland just dominates the match. But then Rich Holland gets pinned with a sneaky roll-up. That's the way, that's like, how do you put over a guy and build him up as somebody legitimate that we should care about? Have him go in there, have a match with Cesaro, have a damn good match with Cesaro, and then win. How to not do that? Have him do that, except Cesaro wins with a sneaky roll-up. Oh, this company is fucking stupid. Drew McIntyre's in the office with Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce. Drew wants to be in the Black Friday Invitational Battle Royal, but Deville says that he doesn't have the final list of participants yet. And when they do, they will let him know. And we'll talk about that more later. I was hoping we would be out of this. I was really hoping we would not have to deal with one of these till Christmas Eve. Because SmackDown's going to be on Christmas Eve this year. We got a Thanksgiving-themed wrestling match. Rick Boogs versus Angel Garza. Crowd loves themselves some Rick Boogs. And we had a Thanksgiving leftovers throwdown match. What? So there's tables of food, turkeys, pies, whipped cream, whatever. Bleh. So, how does this match end? Well, Boogs looks like he's coming close. He's gonna pull out a win. When Humberto, who has his last name still, by the way, when they showed off Angel's nameplate, it said Angel with Humberto Carrillo instead of just Humberto. So there you go. But Humberto gets his guitar and starts playing it on a table. That gets Boogs distracted. Nakamura comes from behind, kicks him down, and he falls through the table. Turns around into the wing clipper. 1, 2, 3. Yep, Rick Boogs got beat by Angel. Wow, I just don't know. Why are these two teams feuding? Nakamura, last I checked, is the Intercontinental Champion, not one half of the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Shouldn't these guys be going after the Usos? Oh, that's right, they're heels, so they can't. Ugh, so stupid, just so stupid. Out comes the Women's Champion, Charlotte 9000, looking to complain that she got beat and there's no competition on SmackDown. Now she goes to the ring, we go to commercial, we come back. Caleb Braxton is with Adam Pearce. Asking about tonight's Battle Royal. He says he's headed to his office to work on the match. He just has to get approval. And he'll post the list on his door. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. You're the general manager of both Raw and SmackDown. You don't have to get approval, do you? Then asked about the reinstatement of Brock Lesnar. He thinks for a second, and we get a video package of what happened before. And Pierce tells Kelly he hasn't heard anything about Lesnar's indefinite suspension, and repeats, indefinite suspension, but strangest things have happened around here. He brings up the property damage, medical bills, and therapy sessions, and he has to calm himself down. Lesnar says he would personally be shocked if the suspension was lifted anytime soon. Pierce excuses himself and walks off. We go to the ring and with Adam Cole. Michael Cole in the ring with the Showbot. Says Showbot must be devastated over her Survivor Series loss to Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch. Now, the only thing I'm disappointed in was the poor officiating in the match. We all saw it, and the only way Becky could beat me was a blatant cheating. Becky isn't underhanded as she thought, and Becky got a hollow win, and the win proved nothing. Becky knows deep down that I am a better woman than the man. Becky's success is all thanks to me. Then Cole asks about what is in the near future for her. She says, Becky can pretend to be big time Bex on Raw and Fantasyland, but I'm still the most dominant woman in sports entertainment. Out comes Toni Storm. Storm said she called it Flair's session with Lynch was made her vulnerable and Lynch won. Storm says now Flair is going to come after her because she thought she's tough enough to stand up to her. Storm figures she'd make it easier for Flair and say, I'm right here. The Showbot's like, that's cute. You thought I was gonna come after you? Don't make me laugh. I barely even know you exist. So, Showbot ends up on the outside because she tried to attack Toni Storm. She tells Toni to come after her. Toni comes after her and gets pied in the face. Okay. The Showbot wipes her hands off and just like, come on, come on. Toni slowly walks towards her and gets pied in the face again. And does nothing but hold in tears. Because if that shit would have happened to me the first time, I would have got my composure and I would have speared the fucking bitch to the floor and started beating the shit out of her. Not just walk up slowly like I'm a badass just to get pied in the face again and then do absolutely nothing but just let the camera pan to my face or stay on my face and make it look like I'm trying not to cry. How to make Toni Storm look like a fucking geek. It would not surprise me if Toni Storm gets fired from the company at the next set of fucking round of cuts they're gonna have towards the end of the year. Because you know it's coming. It wouldn't surprise me if the day before, like the day before Christmas Eve, you get like 7 people getting cut, and Toni Storm's one of them. We see earlier in the day, Sasha Banks confronting Sonya Deville backstage. Banks says she was the team captain of the Survivor Series, but Deville screwed her, but put her on a team with a bunch of flakes and traitors. She goes on and blames Deville for the loss, saying she would have been allowed to pick her own team. Banks goes on, but Deville tells her to watch her tone. And talking to her and says, Banks can't just rewrite history. You lost. And the loss is on you, Captain. Deville also says that no issue with Naomi. Bullshit. Banks says, gee, are you sure? Because your voice seems to change every time you lie. Then goes on wondering if Deville is jealous of Naomi for various reasons such as popularity, being a 2-time SmackDown Women's Champion, having a bigger following, or because she's out here kicking ass while you've been downgraded to a suit. Deville says maybe that makes her a boss. And she says, you know what? If you're such good friends with Naomi, let's have a tag team match with you two versus Natalia and Shayna tonight. So we go to that match, Sasha Banks and Naomi versus Natalia and Shayna with Sonya Deville on commentary, where Pat McAfee continues to grill her on her misuse of power. Let's just say that. But we see, before we get to that match, we see Xia Li Chapter 2. I see this gimmick lasting maybe a week, maybe 2. Like I said, we get closer to Christmas time. It would not surprise me if Toni Storm and Xia Li are on the chopping block. I don't care about this gimmick. I mean, like, you can't really... Are they trying to make her female Shang-Chi? Did Vince McMahon or Bruce or John Laurinaitis actually sit there and watch Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings and go, we need to find a character, we need to have a Chinese character play something like this? Well, Xia Li's Chinese born, let's have her do it. No thanks, just no thanks. It's not gonna last. This is one of those gimmicks I see Vince McMahon getting all excited for, pushing it for 2 weeks and then getting bored and moving on. All it's going to take is one match with Charlotte where Charlotte does everything she can to just make Xia Li look like shit while protecting her own self and doing things her goddamn way that will kill this gimmick. Just saying. Women's Naomi and Sasha Banks win this match. Sonya Deville on commentary the entire time, just denying everything that's happened so far. I don't have a grudge. I don't like tried to say that the reason that the count was fast when she was a referee is because that's her cadence. Bullshit. Give me a break. And Naomi gets a sunset flip over for a pin and win. That is that. After the match, Naomi stands tall. Banks joins her and they celebrate. She taunts Deville from the ring and goes face to face with her. At the announce table, Deville applauds her and tells her that was a good job. Stares her down and walks away. We got superstars backstage checking on the paper to see whose name is on it. Sheamus tells Drew McIntyre comes up thinking his name's gonna be on it, and then Sheamus says, "Dude, this ain't no easy way to say this, but you didn't make the cut." And then he laughs. And walks off. Drew is not happy. Main event, Black Friday Invitational Battle Royal. Sami Zayn, Eric, Ivar, Angel, Garza, Humberto Carrillo, Mace, Mansoor, Cesaro, Ricochet, Drew McGulak, Rick Boogs, Jinder Mahal, Shanky, Madcap Moss, Happy Corbin, Jeff Hardy, Rich Holland, and Sheamus. Out of every name I just mentioned, Jeff Hardy is the only man in this who should be getting the match. Anybody else makes no fucking sense. But Jeff Hardy won earlier, so you can't have that happen, can you? Now, early on, Madcap Moss eliminated about 3 or 4 people on his own. He eliminated Shanky, if I'm correct. Let me see here. Before the match happened, everybody's in the ring. Drew McIntyre's hit after the match was announced. And he's coming out with the sword, and he just runs to the ring, swinging at everybody, trying to get them to make him leave. We go to commercial break. We come back. The match starts. Drew's nowhere to be found. Adam Pearce is standing outside the ring. And for whatever reason, again, Caleb Braxton's out there. They say to interview the winner, but that is not exactly what happens. So, we have the match here, and Madcap gets a good couple eliminations. Makes the mistake of trying to eliminate Baron Corbin, because that was stupid. Gets himself eliminated. It comes down to Corbin, Jeff Hardy, Ricochet, and Sheamus. Ricochet gets eliminated. Sheamus and Corbin try to eliminate Jeff Hardy. But Jeff Hardy, they can't do that, so Corbin eliminates Sheamus, and then Jeff Hardy eliminates Baron Corbin. You think the match is over, you think everything's good, oh, we're good, everything's done. Nope, Sami Zayn comes in, throws him out, so I don't know how he wasn't eliminated, and Sami Zayn picks up the win, which, it just shows you how much that WWE really shows they don't have anybody. Now, here's another thing. Kayla Braxton comes into the ring. She's about to interview Sami Zayn. Puts her hand to her ear as she has an earpiece in. And she thinks she's there for a second. Just, It has just been brought to my attention. And it has been confirmed. The suspension has been lifted. And next week, Brock Lesnar returns. So, basically, this just shows you how much WWE... Nobody can see Sami Zayn as a threat to Roman Reigns, nor should they. Sami Zayn wins the Battle Royal. Probably shouldn't have, but whatever. And then Roman Reigns is in the back laughing at this shit. Are you serious? This guy here is going to try and beat me for the Universal Championship? He's just laughing this shit up. And then he doesn't even get that much time to celebrate and have any words because Caleb Braxton's like, oh yeah, by the way, we have Brock Lesnar coming back next week. So... they just made this entire Battle Royal pointless. And of course, the end of the show ends with Paul Heyman in the back looking like a scared child as the Usos and Roman give him the dirtiest, ugliest looks you have ever seen. As they look like they want to just beat the living shit out of this guy. And that's how the show went off the air. This show fucking sucks. Jeff Hardy would win. If Jeff Hardy wins, then it's his last fight to go to for a world title. Again, Heyman Roman Reigns is looking at this win of Sami Zayn and going, "Are you fucking kidding me? They got this guy. This guy won. Please." Nobody can even think of Sami Zayn being a threat. I mean, nobody should see Jeff Hardy as a threat, but it's Jeff fucking Hardy, former WWE and world champion. So, it's a little bit more understandable, and it'd be a good way to give him a send-off before he leaves. Leaves for AEW probably sometime next year. But no, we're going to go with Sami Zayn, and he's going to get smashed. I don't see that match lasting at all. Rest of the show, this show was built around the Battle Royal, and his Brock Lesnar suspension lifted. Everything else did not fucking matter. Period. So that is your AEW Rampage and SmackDown review. SmackDown was another nothing burger of a show. Rampage was pretty decent. Can't wait to see what's going on next week. We got 2 title matches next Friday. And Wednesday's going to be a great one too. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Minds at the France Club. Find me on twitch.tv/the France Club. And find me on Instagram at the France Club. And I'll see you guys on Monday for Raw. Until then, my name is the France, and I'll see you guys later.